Good evening, and welcome to It's Too Late. We're going to start with crazies in society, okay? Crazy news, crazy people in society. Here we go.
Well, we are seeing new video today of a disturbing attack in Queens. Police are searching for the man who threw a 68-year-old woman down the steps of a church and then robbed her. Police say the suspect took off with cash, her phone, and her car. Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles is live in Jamaica Hills with the very latest. Darla.
Liz, this is horrible. A senior citizen cannot even go to church on Sunday morning without being attacked. That is the sentiment here in Jamaica Hills. This is the path the 68-year-old victim took as she was approaching the church. And while she was walking, you can see on the surveillance video the suspect was running, trying to catch up with her. No, so she gets to the top of the stairs right about here. She's only a few steps away from the front door of the church when he jumps, pops behind her. She falls all the way down the stairs. Just imagine how hard that fall was and how badly she was injured.
Here on this side.
She was on this side?
On this side.
A 68-year-old woman shoved with so much force, she flies into the air. Eyewitness News has decided to freeze the moment she crash lands on the sidewalk.
Someone, I guess, was following her and just pushed her all the way to the ground, the floor, with such force.
It happened at St. Demetrios Greek Orthodox Church near the intersection of Parsons Boulevard and 152nd Street just before 8:30 a.m. in Jamaica Hills, Queens. Inside of the church,
the people that were around, the parishioners that saw it, or afterwards when they were coming, they came out to help because I was in the altar.
While outside, the victim is being followed from behind. When she reaches the top step, the suspect jumps in front of her, knocks her down so hard she goes airborne, landing at the bottom of the stairs. The good-for-nothing suspect then steals $300 cash, her cell phone, her car keys, and then drove off in her car.
It was a major feast day for us yesterday, the Feast of the Cross, because we are still in Lent, the Orthodox. So she was coming to participate in the worship of the Holy Cross, the veneration. And, you know, she was coming, and then this happened.
While he's in the wind somewhere, cruising in her car, the 68-year-old is in critical condition at Booth Memorial Hospital.
I visited her yesterday at the hospital. She was alert, she was conscious. I gave her, you know, a blessing, gave her Holy Communion, and gave her a little prayer and an icon. And, you know, we're hopeful, her family is hopeful that she will recover fully.
Now, the victim's car is a 2006 Nissan Altima. Police want anyone to look out for it if they see it or they recognize the suspect in the surveillance video. Call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS.
It's on your hip.
Police body cam video of a man being arrested after he allegedly shot a restaurant employee because he was angry about guacamole.
The reason that this happened is because of poor decisions, inability to control emotions, and that's what led to the shooting.
It happened Friday night at the Chipotle on Evergreen in Southfield.
This happened right across the street from the police station. So what's the nerve of that? And you think you're going to get away with it?
32-year-old Aaron Michael Brown arrested a short distance away. At a press conference on Monday, a timeline.
The suspect, Mr. Aaron Brown, entered the Chipotle restaurant with his wife. While standing at the register, Mr. Brown asked for extra guacamole on his food that he had just purchased.
Police say he was upset because it wasn't enough guacamole.
Mr. Brown then called the female Chipotle employee a derogatory name, the B word, which upset her understandably.
Fellow employees took her to the back to try to calm her down, leaving the front counter unattended.
Our suspect, Mr. Brown, who previously had paid for his food items, began to proceed to go around the counter and began to bag his own items, and then he took a cup and filled it with guacamole.
A 21-year-old male employee tried to stop him. Physical altercation, and then Brown, a licensed CPL holder with no prior criminal history, allegedly shoots the employee in the leg, then takes his food and calmly walks out.
I was in my car and I saw him just walk out to his car, close the door, and just drive off. Like he didn't speed off or anything. It was weird to see, but it was like you'd think you want to get out of there fast, but it's like he didn't care.
I mean, it was very scary. I don't know.
Brown is being held on a $20,000 cash bond and facing several charges, including assault with intent to do great bodily harm. The victim is expected to make a full recovery.
You guys, this is an SHTF moment if you're a hypochondriac, neat freak like Howie Mandel, allegedly. But seriously, this pain-relieving hand sanitizer, well, it pain relieves, all right. It'll relieve all of your pain. It'll put you in a coma, apparently. That's right. A hand sanitizer, a toxic hand sanitizer recalled after warnings it could cause comas and blindness. Oh, I'm glad I didn't put any of that on my hands right before I read this article. You know what I mean? A hand sanitizer and a pain-relieving aloe gel have both been hit with a nationwide recall after officials discovered they contained a toxic chemical that could cause comas, seizures, blindness, or death. Oh. The two products, Aruba Aloe Hand Sanitizer Gel Alcohol 80% and Aruba Alcoholata Gel, were found to contain methanol, which is toxic to the skin and poisonous if ingested. So why in the world would they put methanol in a hand sanitizer? The gels were made by Aruba Aloe Balm NV, part of Netherlands-based company Royal Aruba Aloe, that has locations in Aruba where its aloe is harvested. The recall was issued on Friday in conjunction with the Food and Drug Administration. Okay, so this is right now happening. Methanol, a chemical compound sometimes known as wood alcohol, is more commonly found in antifreeze, varnishes, plastics, and paints, and it is even used as engine fuel to power ships and buses, according to the Methanol Institute, the Global Trade Association for the industry, and it's extremely poisonous. And ingesting as little as 30 milliliters could kill a child, while 2 ounces could be deadly for an adult. According to a prognosis information document published online by the Mount Sinai Health System, which runs medical school at 8 hospitals across New York, urgent medical intervention is necessary to try to prevent death, and the sufferer may have their stomach pumped and dialysis, to clean out their kidneys during treatment. Okay, so that's obviously if it's ingested, but we're talking about rubbing it on your skin. And Gel's company statement made for grim reading as it warned the two Gel's products have been found to contain alcohol denatured with methanol. Uh-oh, they shouldn't have done that. Substantial methanol exposure can result in nausea, vomiting, headache, blurred vision, coma, seizures, permanent blindness, permanent damage to the central nervous system, or death. Whoa. Okay, stay away from that hand sanitizer, you guys. Although all persons using these products on their hands are at risk, young children who accidentally ingest these products and adolescents and young adults who drink these products as an alcohol substitute they're at risk of methanol poisoning. So I didn't realize that was a thing, but apparently that's a thing. And that's not cool. Okay, the company said it had notified all its customers by email and offered them a discount coupon for the next purchase. Oh, no thanks. How about giving my money back? The products were distributed between 5/1/2021 and 10/27/2023 and were sold in the U.S. via Aruba Aloe Balm NV website. Customers should contact their physician or healthcare provider if they've experienced any problems that may be related to taking or using this drug product, the company said, adding that it had not received any reports of adverse events related to these products. Okay, so not yet a problem, but you can see that it could be. All right, folks. Toxic hand sanitizer recalled over warnings it could cause coma. If California is known for anything, it's throwing fuel on the fire. And that's what this is. San Francisco lawmakers want to let city residents sue grocery stores that close. Okay, economy, bye-bye. A pair of progressive San Francisco lawmakers are pushing a bill that would allow residents in the crime-ravaged city to sue grocery stores that close up shop if they don't give 6 months' notice. The proposal by San Francisco Board of Supervisors member Dean Preston and Aaron Peskin, remember those names, Preston and Peskin, a couple of pesky pricks, would require businesses to either find a successor grocer or work out a plan with residents in the neighborhood to ensure the availability of supermarket options. This is America, in case you forgot, Preston and Peskin, you goofballs. The Grocery Protection Act, which is based on a proposal the board approved in 1984. Funny year. Oh, that's so fitting. That was vetoed by the San Francisco Mayor Dianne Feinstein, comes amid a rash of retail theft fueled by the city's drug and homelessness crisis that has led to several business closures. It's going to be many, 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 many more. Total exodus. Whole Foods closed its Market Street locations last year after there were 568 emergency calls lodged in a 13-month period due to incidents such as vagrants throwing food, yelling, fighting, and attempting to defecate on the floor. Great. According to the New York Times, at least 14 arrests were made at the location. Preston, who introduced the legislation last week, floated the proposal in January when a Safeway supermarket in the Fillmore section announced it would close in March. Safeway, I almost said, do you blame them? And I'm like, well, of course, it's California. They blame them big time. They blame everybody but themselves. Safeway, which operates 15 locations in San Francisco, sold the 3.68 acres of the land to a real estate developer that plans to build a mixed-use project that will encompass both housing and commercial retail. Oh, good luck there, buddy. The day before the board was scheduled to vote on the resolution, the supermarket chain announced that it would keep the store open until next January. See, that's nice. And just lose money just to help you goofballs out. The new ordinance would exempt supermarkets and grocery stores that close because of a natural disaster or business circumstances that aren't reasonably foreseeable. It's reasonably foreseeable that San Francisco is going in the toilet. Everybody knows it. In those cases, the businesses do not have to provide 6 months notice. How about this? Every business, go ahead and provide San Francisco and New York too notice. We're not doing business with you guys. You're idiots. And screw all your dumbass people. Oh, sorry. Look, I love you guys if you live there and you're watching this show. But you know what I'm talking about. Okay, don't be mad at me. All right, here we go. If the store closes without providing notice to the Board of Supervisors as well, the Office of Economic and Work, those affected by the closure would be entitled to sue for damages. According to the language of the... They just love lawfare. Keep it going, you stupid, ignorant idiots. And citizens out there, if you're watching this, and I see the statistics, there's a lot of people that in New York and San Francisco and San Diego and New Orleans. The hell's wrong with y'all? You putting up with this? Pfft, craziness. The bill would also require that grocery stores meet and work in good faith with neighborhood residents. Oh. Here, can we give you our leftover food and stuff? Anyways, it was a good idea in 1984. It's an even better idea now. Preston sent a press release. Preston's an idiot. Our communities need notice, an opportunity to be heard, and a transition plan when major neighborhood grocery stores plan to shut their doors, meeting the food security needs of our seniors. Oh, come on, cry me. They always have to, at the last second, we're like, hey, man, we're just doing it for the, think of the children, think of the old folks. You're a bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of idiots, and you've ruined the city, and everybody knows it. You've kept everybody oppressed. You've made everybody think that, oh, no. Listen, I won't ramble. Sorry. You all remember the catastrophic derailment there in East Palestine, Ohio? Well, the Norfolk Southern train company has agreed to pay $600 million to settle that Ohio derailment lawsuit. And now there's just under 100,000 people that are going to get this money. And I just threw out a number, 72,000. And say it's only 72,000 people that will split this money. Well, you know what? They're all going to get a check for $8,333. They don't even get a new truck out of the deal.
U.S. railroad operator Norfolk Southern said on Tuesday that it has agreed to pay $600 million to settle a class action lawsuit over the fiery train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, that spilled toxic chemicals early last year. More than 1 million gallons of hazardous materials and pollutants were released when the train caught fire in February 2023, sparking broader concerns about U.S. rail safety. Norfolk Southern said in a press release that the agreement does not constitute any admission of liability, wrongdoing, or fault. The agreement, which still needs court approval, would cover claims from residents and businesses in the city, as well as surrounding communities that were impacted. The lawyers bringing the action said the agreement will provide compensation for past, present, and future personal injuries resulting from exposure to the chemicals involved, and estimated there are just under 100,000 residents who will be eligible to receive funds from the settlement.
Let me be clear. While there are acts of God, this was an act of greed that was 100% preventable.
U.S. President Joe Biden traveled to East Palestine, Ohio after the disaster. There, he promised that his administration would continue to push Norfolk Southern to remediate damages and support the community.
Well, I guess $8,333 per person. There's your remediation, there's your damage control, and everybody's happy, except for the people that have to get this little peely check that, by the way, now is only worth, what, half that? If you know what I mean.
In May 2023, a U.S. Senate committee approved bipartisan rail safety legislation that tightens rules on trains carrying explosive substances like the Norfolk Southern train. But further action has stalled.
Oh, further action has stalled. They're going to talk about it a little bit more, you know. So, all right. No big deal. That was probably a very, that was a slap on the wrist for Norfolk Southern, as far as I'm concerned. And it's a lifelong disaster for that region. All right, folks, let's wrap it up tonight with one for our boys at the CIA, since we know they're listening. And this is their handiwork in the headlines, man. They want us to believe it, that this Idaho man is charged with materially supporting ISIS, was planning attacks on churches. Oh, and he might have been. I bet he had a little help from a friend, though. Where do you think he got that flag, you guys? Check this guy's flag out. This 18-year-old kid, man, you think he got it off of Amazon? CIA Amazon. Anyways, you get my drift. An 18-year-old man was arrested and charged with attempted to provide support for the terrorist group ISIS. He had allegedly pledged his allegiance to the terror group and was planning to carry out attacks at churches the day after his arrest. Woo, says the report. According to a release from the Department of Justice. Oh yeah. Alexander Scott Mercurio, 18, of Coeur d'Alene, Ohio, was arrested on Saturday. He was planning to attack the churches the next day. He might have been. He might have been tapped on the head by the you-know-who. Okay, authorities intercepted the communications of Mercurio and several individuals which were facilitating the transfer of funds to an individual known to have been based in Gaza, who is now thought to be dead. Oh my God, this is so good, you guys. No, the government's telling us this stuff, and they're telling it to us straight, because you know how good they are. Okay. Initiation of investigation of ISIS facilitators. Woo! In 2021, the FBI was conducting a criminal investigation into fundraising network that was using cryptocurrency exchanges and other financial service platforms to raise funds and launder money to support designated foreign terrorist organizations based in Syria, including but not limited to ISIS. Oh, this is good. Afghanistan affiliates and blah, blah, blah. It was during the course of this investigation that the FBI became aware of Mercurio, among others, including a known individual hereafter as Individual 1. We're going to call that CIA Agent 4. The investigation revealed that CIA Agent 4, also known as Individual 1, and 3 others collected and provided funds and other forms of financial support to ISIS through transactions executed across a variety of different cryptocurrency exchanges, probably including a government purse, of course, exchanges and financial service platforms. Okay, another known individual, here too known as Individual 2, you know what I'm going to say. Anyways, known to have resided in Gaza, was the ultimate recipient of the funds collected by Individual 1 and the others. Ooh. The investigation revealed that Individual 1 and Individual 2, as well as other members of or former members of several group chats, communicated on an encrypted social media and mobile messaging electronic communication service. Okay, so all right, listen, you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and read it. Attorney General Merick Garland said in a release, as alleged in the complaint, the defendant swore an oath to loyalty to ISIS and planned to wage an attack in its name on the churches in Coeur d'Alene, Ohio, said Merick Garland. Said Merick Garland. Oh, listen, Garlic added. Oh, Garland. He is garlic. That's funny. Garland added, thanks to the investigative effort of the FBI, the defendant was taken into custody before he could act. And he is now charged with attempting to support ISIS's mission of terror and violence. The Justice Department will continue to relentlessly pursue, disrupt, and hold accountable those who would commit acts of terrorism against the people and interests of the United States. Oh, Garland. Oh, Garland. Woo, you guys are so goofy. Mercurio is charged with a federal complaint for attempting to provide material support to ISIS. This 18-year-old kid, by the way, if convicted of the crime, he could spend 20 years in prison. Oh, he's always going to be wondering where did that flag really originate? Someday he's going to think about that. He's going to be like, I wonder if individual one was actually a CIA agent. Of course he was. Mercurio pledged his allegiance to ISIS and intended to commit attacks on its behalf. He planned to attack individuals at churches in Coeur d'Alene on April 7th using weapons, including knives, firearms, and fire, the statement released. I don't believe a damn word the FBI says. And you know why? You guys just saw it today. What happened today with the old CIA and the FBI? Come on now, come on. You don't need me to say it. Oh, is it going to be a right-wing thing? Is it going to be a left-wing thing? No. It's going to be a government scumbag conspiracy fact. Yeah, they conspired against Alex Jones, of all people. And he's going to sue them now. Yeah, if you hadn't seen the videos out there, whistleblowers telling the whole thing. A CIA jerk on a date with his boyfriend who's going to tell him everything. Oh, you goofball knuckleheads. Anyway, so I'm pretty well convinced that what we're looking at here, folks, look at this. Look at this kid. All right, I'm cool, man. I'm supporting ISIS. Well, he was bamboozled, in my opinion, by some CIA knuckleheads that trapped the crap out of him. It's what they do.